Hi everybody, this is Christina from Brush and Bristle Studio. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. I'm going to go over how to use the 11-ounce mug mock-up. This one is going to come with a hanging picture with it. This one is also a little bit different from the other 11-ounce mock-up that I have, so you'll see more in just a minute. So to get started, you want to open this in Photoshop. This will not work in Affinity or any other art programs, but you can use it in Photopea, and I'll go over how to use it in Photopea a little bit later. So once you have it open in Photoshop, you are going to see these 4 red layers right here, or these 3 red layers. If you click on the thumbnail right here, you'll double click and it opens up a new document. Now you can go navigate to the file that you want to upload. So and you're going to hit select all by either pressing Control A, or you can grab this little marquee tool right here and just drag and drop, and you'll see all the dancing ants around it. Once you see that, you're going to hit Control C, or you're going to go up to Edit and do Control Copy right there. You can close out of that and you can hit Control V, or go to Edit, Paste. Now you're going to want to save this, so hit Control S or go to File, Save. It wouldn't be blanked out if we hadn't already saved, but that's what you would press if you needed to. If you go back, everything is updated on everything just right. Now, once you have this set up like this, you can personalize it a little bit more for your taste. I have the sign right up here, so if you want to change the watermark that's up here, you see I'm toggling that visibility on and off. I've got this set up as a watermark as well, so you can double click that, and it's really hard to see, but you can always put your watermark, your logo, whatever, right there. And you can always play with the blending mode, with the opacity and the fill to help make it lighter or darker. You can even copy what I've got on the do not copy for your logo as well. Next, I'm going to show you how to mess with the highlights and the shadows on these a little bit, because everyone has very different tastes on how dark they want their shadows, how bright they want their highlights. So to start, you can go to like the glossy overcoat. You can do it with the glossy overcoat, the highlights, and the shadows, but I would not recommend messing with the blending options that I have set right here, but you can mess with the opacity and the fill. So for glossy overcoat, you can get the opacity and take it up to make it brighter. But we're going to take that back down. I think I had it at 55. Another thing you can do is look at this extra highlights and shadows section right here. And this is supposed to make the shadows and the highlights pop a little bit more to help try and create more realism. I don't know if everyone will like this, but it is here as an option. So if you go in here, you've got these little icons, and you can double click on these to open up their panels, and you can drag and drop these however you want. As you see, it really does mess with the overall color of the design, so I don't recommend going too crazy with those. But I have it set up right now just to give it a little pop. So I'm going to take that one off, And then I'm going to show you the handles. I have set up the color changing feature on the handles. So just like up above, we're going to double click this color palette and you're going to get this hue saturation panel. Now, if you don't have this little box checked, the color won't show. So make sure that this box is always checked whenever you're trying to do this. Now, you can drag and drop and it takes you to whatever color that you need. You can mess with the saturation of it and you can mess with the lightness of it. So it gives you a lot of flexibility to help customize your mock-up for whatever design you're working on. Now I'm going to hide that. Just like with this stuff up here with the shadows and highlights, it's the same thing with the shadows for underneath the mug. They're all merged as one, so you can't like move one mug's shadow, but you can move them all down together. You can also move, play with the opacity and the fill on these as well, so you can make it darker or you can make it a little bit lighter. Then we have some background options here. I've got, I think, 8 different backgrounds loaded in for you guys to use. Just to give y'all some starting options. And then I also have a color change feature on the first white shimmer background. So again, if you double click that color palette, it'll open up the color feature. Make sure the colorize is checked and just drag and drop it wherever you want it. Mess with the saturation, mess with the lightness and darkness. Make it your own. I'm going to uncheck that. Now, like I said, this one's a little bit different than the other 11 out that I have. And it's not just because of the hanging picture. If you collapse that layer group and toggle the visibility and turn this second one on, you'll see it says individual instead of one click change. So as you see, these aren't changed at all, unlike this one. So with these, you have to go in one by one. You've got to go into the sign and double click that one. You have to go into each one of these layers for the mug and change those. Because I had some people that contacted me that wanted that flexibility for their mugs. So that option is available. Everything else about this is the same as this layer group, the first part that we went over, but this one just has it set up where all the smart objects are separate. They're not linked. So it won't do the one click change on anything in there. But that's everything with this for Photoshop. If you guys have any questions about this, let me know. I'm going to take a quick second and then I'll get started with the Photopea portion. Okay, everybody, I'm going to show y'all how to use the Mockup in Photopea. So you can use Photopea on PC or on any smart device as long as it's got a web browser. Once you have it pulled up, you go to photopea.com and then you go to open from computer and click on that. It's going to open it up. Now, for the most part, this is very, very similar to Photoshop. Not much is going to change. You're still going to do all the same stuff that I went over in Photoshop. The only difference is going to be with loading in and saving the smart object. But all the other customization stuff, like with the trying to change the opacity and fill on the glossy overcoat, the highlights, the shadows, toggling on and off the extra highlights, messing with the shadows, messing with the color palette to change the color of the background, all that stuff is going to stay the same. So what we're going to do is double click on this smart object and it's going to open it. But now we're going to go to Open in Place and navigate to the mug that you want. And instead of like in Photoshop, you had to actually copy and paste into the document, this does all of that for you. And it already puts it in free transform mode. So as you see, you've already got anchor points on it. So you can go ahead and move it, resize it however you need to. And then once you're ready, hit the check mark up here. And you can either hit Control S, or you can go over here and hit Save Smart Object. And that's going to update the objects for you. But other than that, that's really the only like difference to the Photoshop version. So if you guys have any questions or have any problems with anything, feel free to shoot me a message, comment down below, whatever. I'm always more than happy to help troubleshoot or help with anything else that you guys have in mind. So I hope you guys enjoy this mock-up and have a great day.